Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another amazing episode. In today's video, guys, let me first of all start by apologizing, guys. Right now, as I'm doing this video, it's raining. That could be the reason why you could be hearing some slight noise in the background. And guys, apart from that, guys, in today's video, guys, what we'll be looking into, we'll be looking into an old classic car. This is a car which was nicknamed to be the workhorse because it's a car which can has really been in a note for more than 4 decades. So this is a car which have shown a track record of crazy performance, of course, durability. Also, we'll be looking into some old technology that were installed in these cars, and of course, that's what makes them to be unique. So stick around for this conversation, guys, because in today's video we have the Peugeot, the 504. I'm sure you could have come across this car at some point, but right now they are known to be driven by the old guys, and they are cars which can really get service for a very long time. So stick around, guys, because we'll be having that discussion. I'll be your host, guys. My name is Willie. Of course, if it's your first time coming across a video like this one, consider hitting the subscribe button, which is just below here. Turn on the notification bell so that each and every time I get to bring you an episode like this one, you can always be notified. And of course, we keep this conversation going. So let me hear your thoughts also on the same. You can share your mind on the comment section, and I would really appreciate. So for now, just allow the intro to run. I'm going to see you on the other side. Well, when you get to hear about the 544, the Peugeot, there are a few things which have made this car to be very popular, and that's what I want us to get to look into really quick before getting into the special specs, from the engine specs, from the interior specs, and what you get to see about this car from the outside, the external specs. So what makes this car to be very popular? So number one, of course, is the bulletproof body. This car was literally made out of metal. You really or in any instant you would find this car having some plastics. This is a car which most of the time, guys, you'll be finding the body is purely metallic. Also, the other thing which made it popular is the fact that it has very simple mechanics, meaning, guys, when it comes to repair and of course servicing, it's very cheap. And of course, this is one of the things which makes a car to be popular to many when it comes to low maintenance cost, durability, and of course performance. Also, this car was powered by a reliable diesel engine. Remember, first of all, the engine is much cheaper as compared to petrol. Diesel usually is usually used by car which gets to perform a lot, meaning long distances, and of course exposed to very tough situation. And of course, the last one, guys, is the fact that this is a car which was also embraced by the government. It's a car which you see most of the government officials are being ferried with it. Also, the other thing is the fact that it's a car which you can get to use as a taxi, as well as those rural transport, and of course it will work amazing. So those are some of the few things that have made this car popular. So now let's get into details and we get to look into the engine specs of this car. Well, when it comes to the Peugeot, guys, we are talking about the 544. You'll be seeing we have the 204. We also have the 304, but this particular video, guys, we are talking about the 544, the 2.1 liter diesel engine. So this is an engine which gave out the displacement of around 2112. That is in terms of the engine capacity. It came with 4 cylinders, as you can see from the image here. It came with 4 cylinders, and of course they were all in line. So the engine code, of course, this engine was known as the Diesel, the XD2. It's an engine which is no longer in production, but it's an engine which really served for a very long time, and of course it's an engine which was known to give some very good performance. So for this engine, it was also naturally aspirated. It was not turbocharged, and of course, we have said time and again, engines which are naturally aspirated, they tend to have a long lifespan, and that's one of the reasons why which made this car to survive for a very long time. We're talking about 4 decades of service, and of course, there are some units which are still running up to date. That can show you how durable this car can get. When it comes to fuel, the fuel system of this car, it will had the indirect injection. Remember, we had this car came with also with a carburetor. We have the carburetor over here, which it was not the best when it comes to fuel consumption, but as by the time, guys, that was the best technology out there. Remember, right now we're talking about the direct injection, which gets to save a lot when it comes to fuel. But this one was using the carburetor technology. But as per the year of production, remember these are cars which came out. The production was started in 1960s up to 2000. You can imagine that the technology which was being embraced or which was the top technology at that particular time. So for that case, guys, we can't blame on that. But I've seen there are people who are doing aftermarket upgrades. They're also doing some tuning. They get to install the direct injection, of course, to boost when it comes to fuel consumption to make sure it's an economical car. And of course, this engine gave out the power output to give out around 58 to 67 horsepower, which was not bad at that particular time. We're talking about an engine which could push this car to around 130 to 135 kilometers per hour. So by that time, that was the top speed of this car. Forgetting now, without forgetting, right now we have cars which are going up to 440. That's the top speed of Bugatti. So you can imagine by that time, the 135 kilometers per hour was the top speed. Remember, imagine this car could get to 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 20 to 27 seconds, which was a bit low. But let's not blame on the car because that was the best technology to work with at the time. So this car also came married with either the four-speed manual transmission system or the five-speed. Remember, at the time we didn't have automatic cars, so most of them they were literally manual. They came with a manual gearbox, so that's also something worldwide and noting. So remember, this is a car which we are talking about. It's a diesel engine. It's not a petrol engine. Also there are those units which came with the petrol, but the most common one it was this one which came with the diesel engine, and of course that really served very well. So now let's just go ahead and get a look at the interior specs. Well, this is where things get interesting because the interior of this car was purely classic. You can see some of this wooden trim finishing, which made the car look very unique. The dashboard had a lot going on. We're talking about a dashboard which came with just most of the things were just analog from the speedometer. We're also talking about the RPM meter. We're also talking about things like the fuel gauge, the temperature gauge, all of them were just analog. So looking at this dashboard, you can literally get to tell, of course, this is the logo, the brand logo for this car, which was a lion. So the steering was just a basic steering with no consideration when it comes to safety. This car didn't come with, of course, with the airbags that you get to see with the latest models. You can see the level over here came with these are 5 speed, these are 4-speed gear transmission system. And of course, we have over here we have the reverse, whereby we could switch the car to reverse or to neutral. So look at this wooden finishing, which came also and combined with this leather trims, which made the dashboard, of course, to look very classic at the time. Of course, we have these three big pedals over here. This one is for the crutch. We have this one for this is for the crutch. We have this one is for the fuel accelerator, and we have the brake pedal. So it really depends on the unit that you really get to get. So you can see the interior design, of course, gets to change depending on the unit that you get to get. For the case of the seats, came with either vinyl or either cloth upholstery, which was also matched with the side door panels, which made the car to really look very nice. You can see like this one how nice this seat looks. This is pure classic, the 504 Peugeot. So also this car came with things like climate control. You could raise the temperature or lower, but these were purely analog manual, you trim them manually. We also have things like we have the hazard over here. There are few things that can, there are few units which can with the basic, the AM and the FM radio, but others didn't come with that. Like for this one, you can see the kind of radio we have over here. This is the climate control, and of course, this is the center console. We have more space for, of course, to have to put your items, more space over here, and of course the side door. We also have the side door. We have both space right there. So for the case of the windows, guys, they were purely manual. You could raise them by just of course rotating this cabin over here. Of course the window could lower or rise. The side mirror, they are also manual. Well, looking from the outside, this car was looking more of a boxy body type. You can see for the headlights, the box looking elegant with that elegant shape. You have this the logo for this 504. It was of course a lion. Moreover, this bodies was purely a metallic, made from metal. We had the door panels over here, and of course, guys, we do have the side mirror. So that's also something worthwhile noting. So for the case of the wheels, we have it came with the 15-inch wheels. We also have the signals. We have the signals, and of course, we have this basic gray right here. So we also have this the 504, the 544 badge, which is at the middle over here. Of course, a lot of these things, this car was purely made to, it was manufactured to survive for a very, very long time. We have these classic trims, which comes in the middle of the car. We also have these the door side. Of course, we have the side what the levers for opening the doors. We also have these shiny chrome looking bar at the front and of course at the rear of that car. Basically this car, there's nothing much going on when it comes to the outright look. It was just a basic car which was meant to just run forever. So basically that's it when it comes to the Peugeot 544. Let me know your experience or your thoughts regarding this car, and of course I would really appreciate it. That's it for today. Let's see you in the next.